Hello, my name is Raluca Radu and I'm here at GPeC Commerce Summit together with our special guest, Simo Ahava, Senior Data Scientist for Reaktor. Hi.
Hi. Hi, thanks for having me.
How did you feel about the summit so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. You know, I don't know what to do. I'm looking up, I'm seeing these amazing chandeliers. I have coffee everywhere. Some of the best speakers in the world are here. I love the audience. I think they're really engaged. Some really good questions, not only in the room itself, but outside. I just couldn't ask for a better treatment. I mean, the organization's been really, really nice.
Thank you. Then you'll come again next year, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. A couple of more days in Bucharest would do good, so I can actually see the city.
Yeah, of course. And it's pretty nice
Yeah.
also. I wanted to ask you about enhanced e-commerce from the business point of view. Why should online shops use it?
Oh, good.
Install it, actually.
Yeah, ouch. That's a good question, and it's also quite a difficult question. Personally, I try to avoid making anybody do anything. So, if I say something like you should do this, then I'm already doing a bad thing. I think like the benefits of enhanced e-commerce for a business are first and foremost is that it takes a metric like conversion rate that we've taken for granted for so long. It's such an amazing metric, and we want to make it better. And it really opens it up. It dissects it. It goes like a surgeon into it and sees what it's made of. And enhanced e-commerce kind of stretches the concept of a conversion throughout the whole session. So it's not just about the final act of purchase, which is what we measure with a conversion rate. You look at products themselves, like what products are converting well, at what point are they falling out of the funnel, what type of visitors aren't doing the checkout properly, what type of add to cart buttons aren't working, and so on. So the way I use enhanced e-commerce and the way I want, or I suggest my client, I almost said I want people to do, I'm not a dictator or anything. So personally, I want people to criticize the standard metrics. I want them to look out of the box and think about like what is special about my web store. And enhanced e-commerce at its best, it's not just an e-commerce reporting system, it's a hypothesis machine. So you see all these problems on the site. You see like, wow, that product is severely underperforming with returning visitors, or wow, that user is never adding stuff to the cart. And you create a hypothesis like, maybe I should do this and this and this to make it better. So we're feeding information into tools like A/B testing systems or back-end data collection systems. So we're looking at our site and trying to identify problems. So we're focusing on the negative, which is a very Finnish thing to do. We're focusing on the negative just to increase the positive. I think that's what enhanced e-commerce is really the best for.
And you were talking about metrics before. What metrics should online shops look into more? Because they usually just look into the conversion rate, true, some of them.
Some of the metrics don't exist, like standard metrics. Google Analytics doesn't have them necessarily. Stuff like abandonment, user engagement, all this kind of stuff that's notoriously difficult to measure. Like, what is a user? What's engagement? Two words that are semantically really confusing. So we need to, the harder a metric is to measure, usually the better it is. So the more difficult it is to come up with a metric, usually it means that it makes a lot of sense. And all the stuff we get for free, like sessions and bounce rates and stuff like this, I would look beyond them. They're good for diagnosis. They're good for making a first impression about something. You don't build your business on them. You build your business on identifying problems in an entire funnel. Like, why do people abandon this? So, in an e-commerce site, I would focus on two things, like mainly. One is cart abandonment, which is like the biggest curse after checkout abandonment. Cart abandonment is why do people add stuff to the cart only to remove it later? What's the kind of incentive to remove from the cart?
And how can we find that out? So why do they abandon the cart?
I think, well, the answer doesn't lie in a session, because people can, for example, with Amazon, I add stuff to my cart all the time. I come back a month later and, wow, this is what I was going to buy?
Yeah, I do that
and some of that stuff I actually end up buying. So the cart survived, but in a way I've abandoned the cart from a session point of view, but as a user but some of the stuff I remove because maybe the price changed or something. So I think that's a really important thing to focus on, and it might be fixed with remarketing, for example, focusing on people who've abandoned the cart, like the session ends and they didn't make a purchase. Maybe some sort of remarketing scheme to them to remind them, hey, you know what, you still have some cool stuff in your cart. And the other thing, like the whole conversion rate optimization thing, is focused on the checkout funnel for a reason. The checkout funnel is, if you're losing people in the checkout funnel, you should be ashamed of yourself. Everybody loses people in the checkout funnel, and it's just a shame. There's no way to get 100% checkout rate, of course not, but it's your goal has to be that. You have to make the checkout abandonment a thing of the past, especially if it's because of something really stupid like a too complicated form or unclear instructions or hidden prices. Like just when you're about to click publish or purchase, it tells you, oh yeah, we added this $5 tax or something. So, stop screwing with the clients. That's the way to keep your checkout going, or with the customers. That's the way to keep your checkout still nice and active. I think those are like the things, like abandonment stuff is really important to focus on. With enhanced e-commerce, you get two really cool metrics, which are like, golden. So you get the cart to detail and the buy to detail. Mm-hmm. So you can see what percentage of sessions that viewed a product ended up adding it to the cart. So you're seeing like, is there an incentive to buy this when people add it to the cart? Which is really interesting because you can then focus on stuff like, is the add to cart really easy to do, and why should I add to the cart? And the other thing is the buy to detail, which tells you what percentage of sessions that view the product end up buying it. So is there like a big difference between the add to cart and the buying? Because people are adding it to the cart but not buying it. So that's something you want to tackle. They're so close to being your best customer ever, and they're still leaving you like with empty hands.
Okay. One last personal question, sort of personal question, Simo. I am I am a reader of your blog, and it shows also in your speech and everything that you are really passionate about what you do and your career. What is your main motivation?
How do I say this without sounding all high and mighty? I don't make money off my blog. I don't sell anything. I don't have an incentive. Part of me enjoys the attention I get. I get to go to cool conferences like this one. I think that's a perk. But I'm really passionate about education. And I very strongly believe in the fact that we should teach not only our clients and the users, but our competition as well. Because the more people learn from this cool stuff, the healthier the whole competitive landscape will become. I'm tired of clients like calling me and saying, yeah, you have this service for us, but someone else just called us and told them they can give it to us like 1/10 of the price. I'm tired of like price being the sole motivator. How about if everybody has the same kind of ground rules that what we can and can't do, but that requires an open community, and that's, I like to think of myself, again, trying not to sound high and mighty here, I try to think of myself as open sourcing knowledge. So just putting stuff out there. I hope other people pick it up and improve it. I do a lot of prototyping, so I hope other people improve it. But I'm really passionate about just, teaching, and I think that's what motivates me the most, seeing people, go like, yeah, I think I agree with you. I'm also passionate about people saying, no, I don't agree with you, because then we can have a good, we can punch it out. We can fight it out. So I think that's what motivates me the most.
Okay, thank you, Simo.
Thank you so much.